Hello, hello, cherished souls. Welcome to Building Lives 101, where going back and practicing, not just, but practicing the basic principles of spirituality is what we all need to do. And that's our focus, is the basic spiritual, is the basic um, uh, core principle of spirituality. And building lives is about, it's not just about spirituality, because we live in a world where there's money, we have, pets. So everything affects our lives. And so we have to build our lives accordingly. And information is a very helpful tool these days to how we build our lives. Okay, and the things that we should be thinking about. Well, the topic today, before I move on, I want to thank all of you who have subscribed to the channel. I want to thank all of you who have come on to view the channel and participate in this episode of Building Lives 101. So the topic today, I see something buzzing about, the anti-Semitism law that is being passed, that is on the table to be passed. And so it's anti-Semitism versus anti-Blackness. And of course, some of you are hearing the other people who have the gender issue that are saying, well, what about us? I'm hearing some of this stuff. But there's so many things that's going on social media that's humming. I just thought I will address it and kind of, put it into what this channel is about and how it fits in with building our lives and raising our vibrations and frequency. And so, yeah, and have all of that unfold in our benefit. Okay, so with everything that's going on, of course, this should send a real big message to everyone, especially white America, for them to see really who is in control of this country. When does another country make it so that another country puts in law not to talk about their country? What? Am I missing something? So, I mean, these are things that we have to think about. When things like this raise its ugly head, we need to flip it on the other side and go and turn it back around on them. Because sometimes, what I noticed, that a lot of things happen and people are so asleep and so entrenched in their lives, making money, so busy, that they don't really see the real picture that is actually going on. Yes, a lot of this stuff is distraction. Yes, all of it is distraction. And we should address them and put an end to it right away. Like, cut the head off right away. But, the thing is that most of us, we're not united. We're not. Actually, I shouldn't say most of us. We're not united. We don't know the laws. And, so therefore, it's easy for these politicians and people to just kind of pull the wool over our eyes and, build deceit and look at all these laws that have been passed, infringing on people's God-given right. Okay? You have the right to say whatever you want. Okay? However, if you say certain things, there certain things should be what we call not should not be tolerated, like hate speech and stuff like that. And yeah, those places, those people should be, I don't want to say put in their place, but when those happen, those should be addressed. Those things are not tolerated. You know what I mean? Um, so like I was watching this video, and I believe it's a true story, where this guy got on the plane with, and this older woman was sitting beside him, and she was, she had arthritis and she couldn't really get up, and he was really nasty to her through the whole thing. And her daughter was on the flight with her, and got up, and there was and it became into this altercation. And then this guy behind him, who happens to be a YouTuber, saw the whole thing and caught everything on tape, and so did a lot of other people, and it totally, and he had a lot of followers, and it went viral. The man ended up losing his job. He ended up losing his a complete lifestyle, way of life. So many things happened to him. It's unbelievable. And that's because these people had nothing to do with it. They didn't put it on social media. This young man, who happens to be Caucasian, he did that. And this is what I'm talking about, that people have to speak up when they see things like that are injustice. They need to speak up. Like what is going on right now with Israel and this anti-Semitism thing, and what's going on here in America. The white people they're so brainwashed. The Christians are so brainwashed that they can't even see what is going on. God does not want war. That is not of God. God said don't kill. And some people said, oh yeah, it does matter if it has to do with war. No, it doesn't. Thou shalt not kill, period. Okay? And what they're doing, they don't know the full story about Israel and what they're doing. And they have bought and drank the Kool-Aid, and they're in it, hook, line, and sink. And it's really, really difficult for them to actually see that what they're doing is wrong just by killing them. I saw some guy, and he said, and he's supposed to be a Christian, and I think he was a pastor, and he said, oh yeah, Israel needs to just wipe them off the face of the earth. And I was like, oh my gosh, why would you, what? And this is from a guy who's a pastor. And God said you'll know them by their fruit. If this guy was really a holy man and believe, and I don't want to judge, it's not me judging, but it's just they say you'll know them by their fruit. That is not of Christ. That is not Christ-like. Okay? That is not something of love. Okay. So, and that goes back to the Bible with some other stuff, but which I don't really want to get into right now. Now, none of us should panic about this. And this is what I'm talking about. And when I talk about, at one of my video, I talked about the chosen ones, and I talk about how people of color are very important in this role, and I talk about souls. And a gentleman said, so what now you have to, he's the only one who commented, he said, so what now you have to be a specific race to have soul? And of course, he probably didn't listen to the whole thing, because I did say that for the chosen ones are in all race. Okay, so is the 144,000. It's just that people of color play a significant role in that, and not only do they play a significant role because of their melanin, and that's the point that I want to touch on. They have more power. Their power is more, enhanced because of their melanin. People of white, complexion, it's kind of, if you want to put, diluted. Okay. And there's some other things that I wanted to touch on, and some of it is coming out a little bit, but I don't want to touch on it right now. And this whole has to do with where the white people come from. I don't even want to talk about that, because see, while some people may say it matters to bring that up, and my whole point is that it doesn't matter. They're here now. We all can contribute. The whole point is that all of us need to work together. And there is a sector, a group of people who wants control, domination, world domination, and those people are the enemy and the antichrist of this world. And we as people need to address that issue. Okay? That's what's going on. Okay, that's what time it is. Okay, and we need to wake up. But we don't have to attack, we don't have to confront any of this with violence. So while a lot of people say we have to be informed, yes, to some degree, if you want to know what's going on. But for the most part, if we keep our focus and our eyes set on God, the one most high, and develop our spiritual power, the spiritual power that melanin people have a lot of. White people, everyone will be grateful to us, because we would be able to do so much to help this world. Where we put our focus, I cannot stress this more and more. For those of you who are watching social media a lot, I challenge you to take a moment and try to meditate. Close your eyes in total darkness and try to meditate. And see how much of the things that you watch and the thing that you expose yourself to, whether movies, TV shows, see how much of that comes up into your mind. See how much thoughts that are negative and I don't know, about killing or about, see how much of that comes up in your, when you just close your eyes and be quiet. Just be conscious about how much of that come up. Where you point, where you almost can't. That's what when you sit down and you see how much of what you are watching and what you're exposing yourself of is tied up in your mind, that is what you are radiating. That's what's buzzing in your frequency. This is why it's so important that you stay away from as much social media as possible. And if you do expose yourself to social media, you have to be very, very particular about who and what you listen to. Okay? You have to be very, very particular about who and what you listen to. And if you are listening to a lot of stuff, you have to ground yourself a lot by meditating and listening to music that are soothing. As much as you should probably give yourself like a time limit, what you're gonna listen to, and then what's the word I'm looking for? Debrief yourself. No. And then ground yourself in something, smooth music, whatever, and or just a 5-minute, 10-minute meditation of just silencing your mind. Okay, you need that. If you are listening to all of this garbage and you are not meditating, you're not listening to spiritual music or something to ground you spiritual, and you're not taking I challenge you, take 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and just listen to nothing, just positive things. Okay? Just things that are positive. And see what happens to your mind. See what happens to your being, how quiet you get. You're not as upset as you are. Now, the way I look at it is, There should be a law against anti-blackness. Look at what's going on all over the world. That should have been a law a long time ago. Anti-blackness. If you're not, there should be. Oh God. There, there was something about this that I thought of that, black, that should be about black people, that black people should, people of color should get, almost like a, like when a animal is on the distinct, even though we're not, but anyway. People want, I believe that white people need us. They do, and they just don't realize it. They need us, and they don't. Part of it has to do with our melanin. I think in a maybe another realm, people talk about the grays. I believe that the grays are a future of a timeline of this world that became all white. And what happened was that their what do you call it, their big, they're after generating the same breed all the time, it broke down and they turned into these beings that they are. And I believe that they found themselves their way back. This is a theory of mine, okay, back here to correct. This is why some of these experiments, to correct what is going on. And then I think they found out, and I think that's why they realized some of the things that has to do with people of color. And they feel like they find and realize that they need them. And this is why there's a push for black and whites to interbreed, okay, to save their species, okay, to save the species. And there's nothing wrong with that. And for those of you who are listening who might be white, oh gosh, you don't know. I love everyone. I cannot express that anymore. I love everyone. I wouldn't be the spiritual person that I am if I didn't love everyone. When I say something, it's because it is a reality of what's going on. And it needs to be said. Some people don't want to hear it because they don't want to deal with that. They don't want to deal with certain things. And it's emotional for them. They don't want to hear it. I mean, but you have to ask yourself, there is a conference, I believe, that is put on every year, I think, once a year. And, I had researched this long ago, and I see a lot of that information replaying itself again. And that's wonderful, because a lot of people need to hear this. And yeah, everybody's invited, pretty much, except for people of color are not invited at this melanin conference. Why is that? Okay? Why is melanin so much more, worth so much more than gold? Why are people of color are missing, or showing up missing? Why do they need to inject themselves with melanin? Why there's so much focus on melanin and melanin supplement? There is this woman who, I believe that she was a test subject and she went through all this thing in regard to injecting herself to become dark. I think a lot of you might have seen her. And she looks darker than me right now. Okay? So, I believe that she was probably a test subject of that. And, so a lot of, don't, guys, don't focus on that. The whole thing about, and even if you do, there's not enough people that is going to come forward to just put a stop to that. We, the people, can put a stop to the government actually doing stuff like that. Remember, I mean, look at social media. Look at what happened, as I said, with the lion. I always refer back to that. We can use social media. I'm going to say this over and over. We can use social media for our benefit, but in a positive way. Buzzing about this as if we are afraid of what they're going to do is not the way to approach this. Acting on it in a way that affects our politician is the way to go about this. I don't know the law enough, and if I think and if I put more thought into it of what we can do legally, just like how they sanction people to do certain things. Oh, well, I mean, we can sanction our certain things ourselves. We can sanction, we can boycott certain things if we all just do it. There are ways, there are things that we can do. We're not powerless. We can speak all we want. They don't care about that. But what they really care about is their money. Is their money, is a system to keep working and working the way that they want it to do. That's what matters to them. And when we disrupt that, we get their attention. Okay, I'm probably saying a lot of things that I probably shouldn't say right now. I don't want to tell people what to do as far as, because everything that I'm saying is things that can be done without violence, without, in love, in peace. Okay? We don't have to cater to things that that doesn't serve our purposes, and that doesn't serve us. We don't have to cater to that. I mean, we give all this money to all these big corporations, and they don't serve us. They use that money that we feed them to actually lobby and make laws that affect us. And people don't see that, and yet still we can't do without them. We feel like we can't do without them. We shop instead of putting our money into local businesses. We still buy all these products from all these people. Why? Because they have got us so hooked and so addictive to what they offer that we find it hard for us to break away. It's just food for thoughts. Okay? Anyway, I just wanted to jump on here really fast and just share my thoughts and get this out there. Anyway, guys, thank you for coming, and just think about what I have to say. And if you resonate with this, just like, subscribe, share. I love you. Love and peace to you all. Okay? Thank you so much for coming in. Bye.